Yo, uh, starting to feel like this channel is becoming like a message in a bottle because as I get out of my second stay at the psych ward, my third inpatient in the last year, a 3-day, this time was a 3-day stay, and they diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder. And I think to myself, like, how much I've learned and how honest I know I have to be about this. I am making these realizations, like the Icarus flying too close to the sun notion. I feel like him, and it keeps coming to my mind about what I've seen, what I've experienced, what I've done to my psyche over my entire life, and understanding that now I understand what I was doing was inflicting pain on myself, and through pain is understanding. And I feel I've seen too much. I've gone too deep. It's gonna sound crazy, whatever. It's just there's a level with the psyche can deal with, and there's a certain amount of healing that I've done and I've gotten through, and I fall in and out. Like today I find myself completely disassociated in a protective way and blocking out even 24 hours, and I guess short-term memory loss, protecting myself from the past, and even short-term, even a couple days. Obviously, a lack of novelty can make your memory more what's it called? Harder to grasp. Out of reach, whatever the word is. But yeah, ignorance is bliss, and now I've done the work, and I seemingly had to dissolve a relationship, pick up the pieces at the same time. I had to dissolve an entire family system, so I'm left with absolutely nothing. And as far as relationships, zero. And there's a limit to how much you can deal with. And I'm just making these videos at this point because I don't know if I'm gonna be around. Like, it's becoming a continually difficult, increasing in difficulty struggle. Knowing what I know now and seeing what I've seen, one can only handle being the scapegoat for so long. I hope I can. My goal is at some point to be able to express more coherently exactly what I've seen and what I've learned. And again, there's a degree between semi-narcissistic superiority, even in the victimhood land complex, and objectively knowing that I have gone to a level, a place that is, I don't know how many people have gone to as far as pain and just the timing of the pain and the timing of the collapse of identity, the collapse of myself, the collapse of my false self, the collapse of my worldview, not worldview, but my view of, yeah, I guess maybe worldview, but my collapse of family and everything at once. And it's hard to think about. It's really the scariest thing ever, to start over and rebuild everything about yourself from scratch with no support whatsoever. And it's almost like it needs to be this way. I don't know how long it's gonna last. It's been my whole life in the making, but the pain's been going on now for, over a year now. Every day is painful. Every day is a struggle understanding what I did, what I endured, just to, on one side of the spectrum, just people please and get my own needs met, and on the other end, absolutely destroy myself and give myself as much psychological and physical pain as possible to understand another individual and myself, and where the lines are, and where truth lies. And I've done that my whole life. I never realized that on one part it was a deep-seated lack of deep-seated unlovability and deep-seated just fear of like a low self-esteem, essentially. And the other hand, it was something that became comfortable, and that I was the scapegoat in my family system my entire life, and I've only recently gone no contact for the most part. Unless I get, not to get into the details, but and cutting that off at the same time that I had to stop a relationship, or I had to, absolutely ceremoniously destroy myself and leave myself in the most vulnerable position possible at the worst possible time, just almost as if it was like the ultimate self-destruction to like truth and narcissistic collapse, and realizing my entire life has been a lie. Like Danny DeVito and Always Sunny, my life is a lie. And Norm Macdonald talks about it in his stand-up. He's like, if everything you believed was wrong, it's like time to go to the rope store. And that's where I'm at. I lived my entire life as somebody else to protect myself. Somebody else pretending to be somebody else since I was 12 years old. And now I'm waking up almost 36 years old, starting over. I don't even want to make these videos anymore, other than, I guess, a placeholder for myself, but I don't know. I feel pretty present right now. I think having that diagnosis is a traumatic response, and I feel like you can literally be conditioned by sociopathic people, and there's no better word than satanic demons, like that. I've seen it recently, like guys being, unaliving themselves, and people, being way too vulnerable around these very, very demonic women. Nobody talks about it, and nobody cares. And yeah, I definitely flew too close to the sun. It's not good. But anyway, that's just a little update for my future self, I suppose. If I ever get out of this, I hope I can at least tell the story before I'm gone, but some really, really dark shit. Some really, really dark shit happened. I don't think I don't know if I'll ever be able to talk about everything. I don't know if I should. I don't know what part of me needs to move on. I guess maybe I need to keep it more general for the sake of information and not validation or trying to tell people what happened to me, but I kind of project notions that happen to me in a way that's general, I guess is a better way to do it. But even my ability to communicate has been stifled by some of this shit. That's the point, is when you're constantly cut off, you're constantly scapegoated, you're constantly manipulated, you're constantly like all these super toxic things your entire life that becomes normal. And how hard is it to look at that as, inadvertently or inevitably you adapt these coping skills, narcissism, you adapt becoming that same shell and becoming a narcissist yourself if you're raised with that. And that's protected me my whole life. In the back of my mind, kind of knowing what I'm doing, but not you're not able to really look at it because that is way too painful. And I'm forced to look at it now with no mask. It's fucking painful. Very, 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 very painful. And I'm just doing it one day at a time. I don't know. It's very hard not to turn to substances. It's very hard not to just want to just disassociate. And today I'm not doing that as much. But the brain is, really, ignorance is bliss. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. What I've seen, I wouldn't wish on anybody. It's a burden to know this, to have seen this, to seen the depths of hell. Seriously, the depths of fucking hell. As if I can just endure. It's not looking good. There's some fucking evil in the world, let me tell you. But anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here, but this is an update for myself. It's a Saturday. Sunday morning. Got out of the psych ward Friday. 4 p.m. Feel exactly the same as before I went in. It's not good. No meds. Full life blasting me in the face. And it's a scary, scary prospect. Alright, well, hopefully you'll see me again. Take care.